counsels of the wicked are deceitful. Verse 9. He that is despised and hath a servant is better than he that honoureth himself and lacketh bread. Verse 11. He that tilleth his land shall be satisfied with bread, but he that followeth vain persons is void of understanding. Verse 15. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. A prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaimeth foolishness. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute. Heaviness in the heart of man maketh it stoop, but a good word maketh it glad. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbour, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. Verse 8. In the way of righteousness is life, and in the pathway thereof there is no death. Psalms 13, reading a few verses, starting at verse 1. A wise son heareth his father's instruction, but a scorner heareth not rebuke. Verse 4. The soul of the sluggard desireth, and have nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. Verse 7. There is that maketh himself rich, yet have nothing. There is that maketh himself poor, yet have great riches. Verse 11. Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labour shall increase. 13. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. 18. Poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth instruction, but he that regardeth reproof shall be honoured. 20. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. 22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. 24. He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chastiseth him betimes. The righteous eateth to the satisfying of his soul, but the belly of the wicked shall want. I've just picked out a few verses. Read each verse, and of course the whole chapter. They each have a wealth of wisdom to guide our hands and heart. Read and reflect on them diligently. Continuing from chapter 14, verse 2. He that walketh in uprightness feareth Yahweh, but he that is perverse in his ways despiseth him. In the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride, but the lips of the wise shall preserve them. Verse 7. Go from the presence of a foolish man, but thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge. Verse 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. 15. The simple believeth every word, but a prudent man looketh well to his going. A wise man feareth and departeth from evil, but a fool rageth and is confident. 25. A true witness delivereth souls, but a deceitful witness speaketh lies. 14:34. Righteousness exalteth a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. The true witnesses are those who speak the word of God, and they save souls. Such as it says in James chapter 5 verse 20, let him know that he which converteth the sinner from the error of his way shall save a soul from death, and shall hide a multitude of sins. Compared to deceitful witness, 2 Corinthians chapters 11 verse 13. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into apostles of Christ. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. Sadly, many are believing the false preachers of today rather than their hard word of God. And chapter 15, reading from verse 1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. The tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. The eyes of Yahweh are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. Verse 5. A fool despiseth his father's instruction, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent. Verse 8. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to Yahweh, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. The way of the wicked is an abomination unto Yahweh, but he loveth him that followeth after righteousness. Verse 14. The heart of him that hath understanding seeketh knowledge, but the mouth of fools feedeth on foolishness. 16. Better is a little with the fear of Yahweh than great treasure and trouble therewith. 29. Yahweh is far from the wicked, but he heareth the prayer of the righteous. 32. He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul, but he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. So we've read verses that talk about righteousness and prayer and abomination. Lots of people are praying for this and for that. Proverbs 20 verse 9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination. And the law is righteousness. Sin is transgression of the law. So in effect it says that he that turneth away his ear from hearing the law of God, in other words, transgressing God's law, even his prayer shall be abomination. So such is the purpose of our studies, so that we will get our actions right in the eyes of God rather than the eyes of man, and therefore our prayers will ascend to him as a sacrifice.
So just to repeat, many pray for this and that, i.e. God's favour and blessings, yet also believe we are not under his laws, but under grace. Transgression of his law is sin and is unrighteousness. 1 John chapter 3 verse 4 says, Whosoever committeth sin transgresses also the law, for sin is transgression of the law. He that committeth sin is of the devil. Simple as that. And as I said, Proverbs 28 verse 9, I repeat, he that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination. So let your life and your prayer be transformed and rise as a sacrifice to Yahweh our God. Shalom until tomorrow's lesson, God willing.